good morning from Dubai. We are here for a new tutorial and we're gonna make this really pretty iPad holder, notebook holder, book holder, or anything that you can put in this one. You can even use this for a nappy, wipes, anything at all. It's an organizer you can put inside your bag. It's so pretty. You can make it in any fabric that you like. That's the best thing about sewing for yourself, right? And for your family and friends, or even for your business. You can choose the fabric that would go on the front and the lining, and also on the pockets. You don't have to do this exact same thing like I did, where I used the pocket fabric same as the main fabric. But yeah, you can play around with your fabric. We got this curvy closure and with a snap. You can even do button if you like the button, or you can totally not include the closure, but it's nice to have little closure for your things not to fall off. Okay, so what we're gonna need first, I've created a pattern for you guys to print out so you can purchase them on my website, andythemaker.shop. Okay, if you go to my website, you just type andythemaker.shop and it would show you the pattern that you're gonna need for this project. But I just want to quickly tell you that I have these bundles, featured products on the homepage. You can get a bundle, I think it's about 30% discount on of many different patterns, and you can get them at so much cheaper. So yeah, by purchasing my patterns on my website, you actually help me big time to continue going on with my sewing pattern journey and also my YouTube channel. So you guys, this is such a good pattern and super easy. This is a beginner tutorial and a beginner friendly project. Okay, let's start. First, you're gonna need your fabric. Okay, you're gonna need, it says on your pattern, you're gonna need the main fabric, 2 of this big one, and then 1 of this pocket and 1 this closure. And you will need 2 lining, and then 2 lining for all, 1 of each. And then the last one would be a batting or interfacing, or you can skip that, but I highly recommend at least have some batting. And if you haven't got any battings, I prefer, for these kinds of projects, I actually prefer the fusible batting, okay? There's so many fusible batting there. The reason is you can just iron this on your fabric and it will stick to your fabric, and it's easier for you to go and quilt or even skip quilting. So if you can see here, this has padding, has batting, this one, but I did not quilt. But it gives that, thick and structure of that bag because it has something inside. But it took me, maybe 15 minutes to 20 minutes to make the whole thing because I did not have to quilt. Now, if you decide on quilting, of course, that will take a longer time. So like this one, I quilted diagonal lines. So you decide what you want to do. I like quick, easy projects, but I also like nice looking projects. So that's on you guys. If you want to do the quilting, go ahead. But for this tutorial, I'm not going to teach the quilting part. So this is my main fabric. Okay, and I'll just have a plain fabric for my linings. Now, let's do the cutting. Of course, you're gonna need your iron, your rotary cutter, ruler, cutting mat, all that basic or must-have things, or you can just have scissors, like sharp scissors. Okay, just a quick tip. If you're gonna want to quilt your fabric, leave at least an inch all over and then cut it. Do not cut to the size just yet. Cut it right after you've quilted the whole thing, and then cut to the exact size, okay? Because it tends to shrink. So, but because I'm not quilting and I'm just basically ironing this batting, I don't need to do that. I can cut it to the size right now. Okay, again, another quick tip. It says here batting, make it bigger, because if you will quilt, okay, this is applicable when you quilt. So when you quilt, right, your batting should always be bigger than your fabric, okay, so that it has you can because it tends to shift. Your fabric tends to shift, maybe here or there. So then you have enough to cover the whole fabric. So that's the reason why it says make it bigger. Okay, you've noticed I didn't actually cut the actual shape of the closure. That's because later, after I've adhered the batting onto the fabric, I will then cut, okay, the exact shape. So if you are quilting, I suggest that you do the same thing, okay? Then cut later on after you've quilted, okay? Okay, I've got my ironing board and my iron to just iron my batting. So when you're ironing your fusible batting, make sure that you're ironing on the fabric, okay? Pair your main fabric to your lining now, so it's easier to find later. So like this is my closure. I'll pair it with this. And now last, my main fabric. Okay, I've used two main fabric. I've got my pocket, one main fabric with the batting and lining. I've got two main fabrics and then two lining fabrics. That's it. You can go ahead and quilt your pieces but I won't be quilting. So the first thing we're gonna do is grab your pocket, okay? And then put them right sides together. Pin or clip, whatever you use. So only pin on the top. Okay, so I will sew 1/4 of an inch from here all the way here. I'm gonna go to my machine. I don't need to back stitch. I mean, you can if you want, but you don't have to, because we're gonna turn that inside out and then we're gonna do a top stitch later on. Okay, I've just sewn a straight line. It's hard to see because I'm using white thread. Okay, and then I'm gonna open this up, push that out. So the best thing to do here is to iron. Oops. Okay. Iron this lining fabric out. And then push it back. And once again, iron it. Okay, and then we're gonna go again to our sewing machine to top stitch from, you see that, from the folded edge. We're gonna top stitch from here all the way here with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Okay, there you go. Right, next, we're going to shape this. So let's grab our pattern piece. Then what I'm gonna do is just trace it with a pen and just cut it. If you notice, I'm writing on the right side of the fabric only because that's gonna be hidden anyway later, so it's okay. Oh, okay, now we're just gonna put right sides together. Put it that way. Make sure the direction of your print, because this is a seamless print, so it doesn't matter which direction. So I'm gonna put it there. I'm gonna sew from here all the way to the curve up to the top, leaving this open, okay? We're gonna leave this open. I'm just gonna sew right there and then later cut it to the shape. Okay, now we're gonna cut it to the shape. I'm gonna make it a teeny thin. Okay, and then turn it inside out. And now we iron this. Make sure that you're poking those nice curves, okay? And then iron it. And again, we're gonna top stitch this one, 1/4 of an inch seam allowance all the way to the top. You don't need to top stitch that bit. Okay, There you go. Now we have the pocket and the closure. Let's grab the body, the main body, okay? So grab one main fabric and your pocket. Put it, I guess, the lining against the main and line it up. You can do the pinning on this one, or just one pin. And you can decide, do you want to make pockets, little pockets from the big pocket, like this? Feel free to modify this or customize this to your own liking. You can even leave it like just a big pocket. I like to be able to put maybe a phone here and then pens here, which is just narrower. So this is where I'm gonna stitch. You can grab a ruler and just maybe make a dent. You can even use the tip of the pen and just make a dent. And then that's the line I'm gonna follow. So I'm gonna go to my sewing machine, making sure that I back stitch. I lock my stitches from the beginning, okay? And then all the way down. Okay, now that we've done that, we're gonna get our backing, or the back for the other side of okay, now we've done that, let's get our other main fabric and find the middle from the top, okay? So how do you do that? You just fold it, just press that bit, then you see that's your middle, and then grab your closure and then attach that. Just kind of eyeball it or smart the middle. Okay. Pin that in place, and then we're gonna sew 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way there. Okay, we did that. Now, do you have branding or any labels that you may have that you want to add onto your product? You can place them anywhere you wish, but I do like putting them on here, which I just open this up and then just sew it on here. You can do this way before, actually, but you can also do it right before. Okay, so I'm just gonna go and straight stitch. Okay, we've done it. Now, we're gonna grab our main fabric, or the back main, and put it right sides together. Pin or clip all the way around. And also grab your lining fabric, right sides together, pin. Now for the lining fabric, you're gonna have to leave at least 3 inches or 2.5 inches opening, okay, on either side. So just one, pick one. I would pick this bit So I'm gonna start sewing from here all the way here, lock my stitches, and then skip 2 or 3 inches, and then start from here, go to the bottom here, and all the way up. Make sure that we leave the top open. For the main fabric, just sew 1/4 of an inch seam allowance all the way, leaving the top open. Okay, we are almost done. Now, we're gonna just clip the edges or the corners so it's not too bulky, making sure that you don't clip your thread. Okay. And turn the main inside out. Okay, you're gonna need some sort of chopstick or something that you can push the corner out of. Gently. Try with your fingers first. And then, this is very important that you do it now before you put the lining in. Okay. Now you can go ahead and iron your front piece. That's looking good. Okay, now clip the corners of your lining as well. And then find the opening. And we're gonna put this inside this. We're gonna put this right side on the right side, so that would be inside of our lining piece. So just like so. Okay, this has to go inside. So it's sandwiched in between. And then go ahead and line up your seam allowance or just seams. Line up your seams. Always line up seams first. Then now pin all the way around. And then I'm gonna go to my sewing machine and then sew all the way around with a 1/4 of an inch allowance. Okay, we're almost done. So we just turn it inside out. Now it's a good idea to find your opening and then just quickly press that. And then go ahead to your sewing machine and just close it up. And make sure that you sew it really close to the edge. Now, place inside. You can just leave it like this and then put the snap button, but I like to do a top stitch around here so it stays in place. So I'm just gonna go to my machine, top stitch, a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance or even 1/2 an inch from the edge, go all the way around, and that's it. Okay, I finished. And the only thing we're gonna do is, oops, the closure, which I tend to leave at least half an inch like extra here, not all the way folded like that. I like to do a half an inch in case, you know, you put a thick book, then at least it's still close. So if you can see, this one has a bit of extra over there. Hope that makes sense. And we'll do a snap closure right now so you can do it with me. Okay, we're going to now find a nice color that matches our fabric, and that's perfect. Okay, let's find so we need two pairs. One that looks like this, and then there. I guess male and female. I don't know which one is male and female, but that's what we're gonna use. And now find where you're gonna poke a hole. So I just make a dent, okay? And that's where I want to do it. Maybe right here. So I'm gonna poke a hole with my poking thing. And then, of course, the cover will be here. And this piece will be here. Now grab this one. Sorry, I don't really know what these are called. Press it with all your might. Okay, that shouldn't go. Make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, and now it's important that you do the top first, okay? And then now you're gonna find so I'm just gonna make a mark using this. So like by pressing it. So now it made the mark, and that's where I poke a hole. There you go. And then this goes at the bottom, which is on the lining. And then it comes out here. Okay. Okay, we've done it. We did it. That's it, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And for more tutorials, beginner tutorials, please check out my channel. Please like and subscribe to this. Please like and subscribe this video. Share it to those you think that would like to make this project. And it's such an easy, quick project. You can make this if you practice a lot. You will be able to make this in 15 minutes or less. All right. Thank you so much. And that's it. Have a wonderful day and an amazing week.